And that takes us to the ladies' prelim fight. We have Pannie Kianzad coming in against Chase Young's younger sister, our girl, Sijara Eubanks. I think we've seen her a few times in 2020 now. Oh, yeah, man. Gotta give her that bump. And she's been impressive, too. I'm not going to lie. I've liked what I've seen from her thus far this year. And, you know, just doing a little digging into this whole division kind of just seems like it's just a rotating division. So Eubanks beat Julia Alvia a couple months ago, who was actually the last person to hand Pannie a loss. And then Eubanks lost to Beth Correa, who's Pettis' most recent win. This is such a rotating circle that you can't really track. But, you know, she did lose, you know, a real tough one to Ketlen Vieira last that we saw. And I'm curious to see if she can bounce back, because the first one we saw her in 2020 was a dominating performance.
Yeah, so what's funny about that fight is, unfortunately, she just wasn't able to work the ground game that we kind of saw her use in upsetting Julia Alvia. Like, that was a pretty solid upset that she stole, but then against Ketlen Vieira. And the thing about Ketlen Vieira, remember we talked about her, right? Like, she was the girl that was pretty much on the verge of title contention before kind of the loss and like the falling out or whatever it was, right? So like that's what's interesting about looking at Ketlen Vieira in general as a fighter now, as she's trying to, you know, make her comeback. But you said it best, man. Like in a lot of these divisions, when the same fighters have to keep going back and forth, like Beth Correa is like someone that I really kind of, you know, she is very much personifying exactly what you're describing. And so I'm not gonna lie, the moment I see someone had lost to her in the later part of her career, I'm a little concerned. So I'm gonna add that to my analysis of this fight. Like I do feel a little bit bad about that, but at the same time, like you know, Pannie, last 2 wins, Jessica Rose Clark, Beth Correa, these are good wins. You know, only 2 losses, Macy Jason on a tough finale, and Julia Alvia, right? So for me, I like this fight. I like this fight from a technical standpoint from both fighters, but I do think that Pannie has a lot of edge here. I think that she's going to have a size advantage. I think she's going to just need to watch it for wrestling. You know, like that's the whole point. With Sijara Eubanks, just avoid the wrestling, avoid that ground and pound. She's got cardio for days. She's going to be able to ride you out. So like when you only lose to when you only lose to good fighters and you've kind of got that all-around game that mixes up well with those kinds of fighters, that's a pretty good chance against a fighter like Sijara. So, you know, if I'm Sijara Eubanks, I'm pushing this girl up against the fence nonstop. I'm trying to get that takedown nonstop. Yeah. My favorite position is going to be taking down from the clinch, get her up against the fence, and maybe fill her some shots over the course of the round. If I got to take it to the next round, I got to take the next round, maybe look for submission, stuff like that. There's no reason for me to be standing up to try and get in there. I really think, you know, it could go either way just because of how you just described how some of the fights do work out, especially in the female divisions. And this is one of those prototypical fights where you have like striker, wrestler, you have cardio versus, you know, what happens on the ground versus, you know, throwing a lot of strikes, combo strikes over the course of 2 rounds. Like, how does the third round look? That's the stuff that really does make, you know, the difference in female fights. And it's hard to, you know, pinpoint that. Like, that's why sometimes even when I'm watching tape, a lot of the time, especially in older fights, I usually just go to the third round. If I know that a fight's going to be going to a decision anyway, I like to see what a person looks like for the last 5 minutes of a fight. That's really important. Yeah.
It's the lasting impression that the judge has as well, right? So there seems to hold more weight in that final round as well. So let's dive right into the odds here. This is going to be a tricky one, but who do you see as the favorite and by how much?
Yeah, so like, and in the way I saw it, I think Kianzad has a chance to make this a stand-up war. She has the ability to kind of, you know, distance strike. I think Sijara Eubanks, the problem with her, she does push forward really well, but I think she never really gets that overall credit. And in this fight, I can't really give her the credit either. So I'm going to go with Pannie Kianzad. I'm going to go with Pannie Kianzad as the favorite, and not by much to kind of sneak it into an underdog line if I need to. So I would go with a -120 on Pannie.
So Sijara actually does come in as the favorite. There's a lot of hype around her. Yeah, she's a -165 favorite in this one. So there might be some value on the dog given what an unpredictable fight this is, right?
There is, man, because like the whole point for me, it's like, let's go back and watch more of Pannie's like losses to some of these bigger fighters, right? Like some of the bigger names, because
heavier.
Well, yeah, like we want to know like how does she deal with those types of opportunities, or I guess you should say some of those lapses in judgment that get you to the ground. You know, are you quick to get back to your feet? Because against like, Eubanks, who kind of uses the technical side as opposed to just power. You know, she's really good at keeping on the ground, and she's like, with the thing with women fights, it's like it's very tough to have all these like strong ground and pound type strikes throughout the whole fight. But like you're gonna see her get those point strikes, and that's what's gonna matter.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that one, but it does look like we may have a live dog here. Overall, it's going to be a great card. Tune in UFC this Saturday, December 19th. For us, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter. Our picks go up all of there, along with all of our other content, you know, clips of our videos from YouTube. Other great MMA content is on the Kaizen MMA. Make sure you check it all out. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a comment, engage in conversation, whatever you may want to do to kind of further this. Anything else, Siraj?
No, man, everything. You just hit nail on the head. Like, let's finish the year strong. This is the last fight card for us. You know, we're going to be going real hard at this one, just to have some fun with it. We're really excited for the next couple weeks to be able to develop, you know, our, you know, niche, our, you know, market. It's going to be really fun for us. And so we're really excited for 2021. And, you know, if we don't really, since we don't have a card, you know, as the vet, the bet, and the casual, happy holidays, happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you for the next card. But, you know, maybe we get you some new content in that time. We shall see.
Yeah, perfect. You said it best, man. Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for all your support. And Siraj, great seeing you as always, man.
You, my boy. I love you. Peace.
Take care.